Hold My Drink with Charlene and Ellie, a GoLoud original.
Or if they have their picture up and their picture is with 7 other men.
Who is it?
Which one are you?
Which one am I going on a date with?
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
100%.
Am I getting all 7 of you? That wouldn't be bad.
So if you have the confidence, you'll be able to make the conversation there. They're leading on from each other as well. And you'll be able to make the connection, the 3 C's. They want to be with women physically, but they want to earn it. They want to earn it. So you give them the benefits when they've earned it, when they're 110% all in, when they're all committed, and you raise the bar and you be the high standard woman.
Welcome to Hold My Drink with Charlene and Ellie. Our podcast is like a group chat between your best friends, the girls' bathroom on a night out where you spill all the gossip on relationship dilemmas and life. If you're a return listener, welcome back. And if you're a new listener, welcome. Hold My Drink is out for you every Wednesday, but we also bring you bonus episodes every Monday, so you can listen to more of us now on the GoLoud app or wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's episode, we are joined by Ireland's top dating and relationship expert, Frances Kelleher, who gave advice on some of your dilemmas and questions to do with your own dates, situationships and relationships. Frances also helped us with our seats in the stalls, and she just blew our mind with how much knowledge she has of absolutely everything to do with dating.
I'm going to get married now, basically.
Literally.
So,
yeah.
Amazing.
If you want to know how to have the best relationship ever and to find someone, then keep listening.
How are yous?
Woohoo!
Limerick week.
Yay! Limerick birds!
I'm so excited. I was only telling Charlene, I was like, I know where to bring you for breakfast and all. I'm so excited to bring you around Limerick City.
I've never been to Limerick, like.
She's never been.
Never been.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no. Very excited. Haven't seen the... I don't think I looked up the picture of what the place looks like, of UL.
My dad was telling me about it. He was like, wow.
I think it's 1,000 people or something, isn't it?
It's like a
lecture hall.
opera room. Like,
Is it not a lecture hall?
I don't think so.
Well, it's not.
Oh, probably. I don't
It's the
know.
University of
That's mine.
Limerick. Well, maybe it's a fancy lecture room.
Yeah.
I can just imagine like one of my lecture halls from when I was in college, like just loads of little faces looking like,
I'm so excited.
There are single tickets left from uch.ie or Calder box office. If you want to pop over by yourself or whatever.
We always
Can.
say that people can come on their own.
And make
On their
friends.
own? On their own. So if you want to come along, don't be scared if you're only coming on your own. We're all there for the one reason, to have a good night, and so
We have a great show lined up.
we do.
Like a brilliant. Really, really, really excited. A few different things.
Yeah.
Really cool guests. And you'll say no more.
Yep.
Too exciting to tell you.
Yes.
So Wait Till I Tell You is where we tell you a bit of drama or scandal or madness from the week. We haven't actually recorded since... It wasn't last week we recorded, was it?
Did
we last week
off?
Yeah, so it's been a while. So my story is from... I think it was about last week or a week and a half ago. But basically I was out shooting content on... It was a Sunday night at like 9 o'clock. Don't ask me why I was doing that 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday. But I was in town and I was standing across the road from a restaurant and I was just standing there at my pictures. I hadn't even actually took my jacket off yet. Like I wasn't even wearing my full outfit. I just get pictures first to see the lighting.
Oh,
So I was fucking freezing. So I kept the big furry jacket on, my boots, whatever. I had it on, took a picture, and then I just heard like all this like, do you know the whistling? Can you do it? Like it's like, yeah, like that. But like kept going. And it was kind of muffled. I was like, where's it going? I looked behind. It was these 2 men sitting behind in the restaurant, outside the restaurant, but they were eating in the restaurant. And they kept going. I was like, ew. I was like, that's disgusting.
Are they old?
Yeah, like 40s. Well, not the 40s old, but like about 40s. One of them was probably 50s, I'd say. But I kept trying to give them a face and they just kept going. Then they started to lock. Their car was obviously beside me. They kept locking and unlocking it to make it flash. And I was like, oh no, my blood was boiling because I just think it's so disgusting. Like,
It's just weird.
it's just so horrible. Like, why would you try it? It's real intimidating. It can be like,
why
you
try
feel
and
like
make
that.
someone intentionally uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable. And I went up to him. I goes, that's not how you get a girl. Like, or no girl. I said no. I goes, no girls like that. And they were like, oh, we just wanted to tell you like how pretty you were, blah blah. And I was like, well, no one likes that. And there's ways to go about things, and that's not it. Like, I was like, you're making me feel really, really uncomfortable. I'm trying to take a picture across the road. I'd really appreciate if you stopped. They were, we just wanted to tell you. I was like, I just walked away. They were still talking. Walked away over the crossroads, stopped for a second, and then they started again. And then my blood boiled even more over my body. And I ran into the restaurant and I was like,
Did you just walk past them?
Just walk past them, went to the restaurant. I was like, there's people sitting outside your restaurant that are catcalling and make me feel uncomfortable. I've told them that and they keep doing it. Like, and obviously I wasn't part of the restaurant, so it wasn't like they were like harassing a customer as such, but like they were harassing a young woman who was outside, and they were like, they're just they're our regulars kind of thing. And like two of the women in fairness were like, oh, we know, like we understand we're women as well, blah blah blah. But it was like, not that I expected that and was done. But then again, I'm like, why am I putting down that something could have been done?
Yeah.
Like, why are we women always saying as like, oh, you're being an inconvenience?
Yeah.
Or like you're being too much. No, your customers in your restaurant are harassing someone. If that was my restaurant, I'd be like, see you later.
Yeah,
here's the bill.
Yeah.
Here's the bill. See you later. Like, oh, they're regulars. Like they're known to do that. All
I
the
can't
time.
believe they said that to you. They're regulars, as if like let them do that because they're
regulars.
Yeah.
Like they obviously spend a lot of money here.
That their money matters more than you.
Than my feeling. Yeah, and I was like, do you know what? Right, and I just gave up then on the pictures. Went back and took them in the car park. And that was it. But yeah. Shy that has to happen. Like, yeah, it wasn't even. It was a bad background anyway. Restaurant's ugly.
Yeah, rotten. Never go back there again.
But yeah, I didn't name the restaurant rotten because
why?
I feel like again, fucking, I don't know. It's going to court again. The court too many times this fucking year. Honestly, I can't. Not that they would be able to do that, but I was like, it just brings a whole new. But I will be boycotting the restaurant. I won't be going back.
Oh no, you think they'd even be like, listen, we're so sorry, we'll go out and just say like.
I must actually. I was gonna write to them.
I wonder if you said it to a man.
There was a man and two women there, and none of them done it.
Because I wonder, would it make them feel?
And also, it happened. One of the staff members, she was like, "Oh my god, tell my supervisor this because this happened." They done it to me on her way, and like one of the days she wasn't in work, and they done it to her not knowing that she was one of the staff there, and they were catcalling her. I was like, "Do you know what I mean?" She's already voicing her concerns, and everyone just like, how are women in Dublin meant to feel fucking safe?
Yeah.
How are like we meant to be treated like that? That stems to other things.
Yeah.
When men can get away with that, they keep going up and up and up. That's like,
it's like anything. You give an inch, they take a mile. They keep going.
Yeah, they just keep going, and it can turn into something really fucking dark and bad.
Yeah.
But people don't care, and it's shit.
Wankers.
Yeah, dickheads. Makes me so angry.
Our regulars. Scarlet for your regulars.
Like that, the whole communication and voice around women in Ireland needs to change because nothing has changed.
No,
like. It starts from little things like catcalling being taught in school that's not appropriate. Like that sets the tone of how if men think they can do that, they start to think they can do other things that they're not allowed to.
Yeah.
It just sets the tone of how they treat women.
I wonder if that stemmed from years ago. Like, do you remember in like really old fashioned black and white movies, like men on building sites whistling at a woman and she's loving it. She's like strolling by loving it.
I've never seen that.
Have you not? I wonder, does it come from that like it was nearly shown that women should feel not honoured, but like should feel like, happy. Oh my god,
yeah,
they're noticing me or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the fucking opposite.
I used to get catcalled in my school uniform. Like that's disgusting.
No.
The more you think back on it, it's like
in a school uniform,
someone
driving a car
years of age.
Like, yeah.
Like what? Like
no,
disgusting. And if anyone thinks that, like my kids will not be raised thinking that's fucking okay.
No,
it's not. It's disgusting.
Never.
Peak and bleak of the week is when we pick one high and one low of the week. So peak is obviously the high, bleak being the low.
Mm-hmm.
My peak of the week is I got to go over and see Dano.
You did.
Had lovely weekends.
Good.
I went to his game. I went out then with a few couples from his team. Got really drunk.
Dessert.
Got Nando's. Got a roast dinner. It was lovely.
Was the roast nice?
Oh, it was too good.
Is it?
And a baked cookie dough for afterwards.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely, yeah. But then I have two bleaks.
Go on.
First of all, my ankle's really sore. I think I've...
What did you do? Is that my tie?
Yeah. From Wednesday I hurt it. Yeah.
Just
because I'm using my tendon too much, they said. They think that might be it. I need to go to physio. I have no time to go to physio. That it's like... I'm like basically strained it. Like it's not sprained, but it's just strained, so I need to rest a little bit. Still going to go, but just not kick. I was throwing elbows yesterday. And then my other bleak is that I realised that my nipple bar fell out.
Yeah.
So then I got a hoop earring and I put it through, but I was giving myself a nipple cripple, so I had to take it.
You did what? Excuse me? You put a hoop through your nipple? You're like a bull.
No,
What
it wasn't.
the fuck?
I didn't. But it was a hoop that has a long stick coming out the back. I had to. I wanted to
Is
close
it in
up.
it now?
No. I was going to. I was like, I can't sit there with Nipple Cripple Law podcast and have a big lump sticking out my nipple. So I'm just going to go to George Arcade after this and hopefully I can get...
You will. You're going to get him to put it in?
nipple
Or are you
pad.
going to put it in?
Oh, no, I'll do it myself. DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
But that's my... Oh, too
I
big.
still get pains in my nipples when you talk about your nipples.
Really?
Yeah.
You can feel it like...
Yeah. Slip a scar and all on it.
Oh, yeah, well, I do, but it's better fucking stay open. Don't close up because they close up really quick, apparently.
Do they?
You can close up in like a day, so I need to run.
When did it come
George
up?
Arcade.
When did it...
I don't know. I thought it was this morning in the shower. I looked in the shower, it wasn't there. And it was quite heavy. I don't know how I didn't hear it fall.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Could be worse.
Could be. My peak and bleak of the week is obviously we're going to Limerick. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go down and see all my family.
Oh, yeah, you haven't seen them in ages.
I was on telling my mum, I was like, have my cousins seen my boobs? And she was like, I don't think so.
Oh, my God.
I don't think I've been down since before I got my boobs done around.
Wow.
I don't think. So yeah, peak. We're going home, bitches.
Yeah.
And bleak. It's getting closer to my little brother leaving.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
It is sad.
I might cry.
Oh, don't. It'll be fine. He's going to have such a good... It's like Sean. Remember how sad we were?
I guess bedroom, but still.
I know. But like he'll have such a good time that
know.
you won't even have time to feel sad. Like you'll miss them, but it's so good. And he'll be home.
Yeah, and we'll see him soon.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just feel so like
I know, it's
I
weird.
want to mind.
Especially because he's the youngest and he's leaving first out like in the house. So it's a big space, big gap when the baby's gone.
the
Yeah.
baby boy is gone.
Yeah.
So we took next week off the podcast because I'm not going to be mentally able to speak. I couldn't. But yeah,
we're
that's,
double recording
that's my
today.
bleak. Less than a week now. Yeah, 6 days.
6 days. And he's buzzing.
He's buzzing.
Yeah.
I have to just keep thinking that.
It's a bittersweet thing though,
Keep
isn't
thinking
it?
of Christmas. We
Oh,
did
yeah.
the food shop actually. I got the food shop in Marks and Spencer's for Christmas. We never normally do that.
Already?
Yeah, I pre-ordered everything so I
Fuck
get to go
me.
down and collect it.
Wow.
So pre-ordered everything and Jack was giving out to us in the car today. The year I leave, you're going to Marks and Spencer's for everything. Yeah. He's like, I said, Jack, there's only 4 of us now. You're gone. I'm going to
We can
do."
have the extra budget.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, that's my bleak.
That's your bleak. So today on the podcast, we are delighted to be joined by Ireland's top dating and relationship expert, Frances Kelleher. Welcome to Have My Drink.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, don't be silly. We're so excited.
Yeah. This is so we had a sex expert on before, but this is different because this is like a relationships and dating, which we talk about every single week.
But we always claim that we like to say we're not Bible. So people don't take us too seriously.
Yeah, just we don't ruin people's lives.
Yeah, we're not the experts.
Yeah,
You are.
Yeah, you are. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how do you get into a career of what you do? How does that start?
Great question. Thanks for having me, girls. First of all, so happy to be here.
Coming on.
Thank you.
So I started off life coaching. I had my first child, and of course I love work, so I had to be doing something. So I studied that course at night, never really expecting to get into it. I just was doing it because I always had an interest in that. Always, loved to know how the brain works and reading the books in psychology and self-help and all that. And then I started life coaching. I said, I'll give it a go. And I read about the loneliness epidemic in the world. It is so tragic. This was
The old people.
that is exactly
Oh,
it.
so
That
fallen.
yeah,
So cute.
they're so cute.
So cute.
That's the way I feel. And they're such a fountain of knowledge and wisdom. And, I feel they're not cherished enough.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I love talking to old people. But it used to be just the old people.
Right.
And now it's spanning across every age, every genre, every demographic. And it happened before COVID, way before COVID. In the UK, they have a minister for loneliness. It's that bad. And it is, research has said, girls, it's as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Oh my God.
That's the effect it has on humans. We're a pack animal.
Yeah,
we're like
yeah.
the wolves, we're not loners. Excuse me. And anyway, I read about that and I thought, oh my God, this is so sad. And the more I spoke to people and I read up and all the research, even in Harvard and everything, they all talk about, the happiness comes from the quality of the relationships you have. It's not about 10 million in the bank and driving the Ferrari. In fact, actually, the research says once you get past 70,000, you have a roof over your head, you have food to eat, your main basic needs are met. Your happiness levels are the same as having 70 million in the bank. So I started reading up on that, and I just thought, oh my God, that's so sad. And I niched and specialised into dating coaching. And I've now just finished, well, in the summertime, last August, studying under John Gray. You know, he wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Oh, wow.
The most famous, best-selling relationship book of all time.
I need to read that.
It's fantastic,
Yeah,
girls.
it's great.
I say every house should have it.
Yeah.
A copy. So he is just a pioneer, I feel, in our industry. So I'm a qualified now Mars Venus gender intelligence coach, basically, you know, explaining the differences between men and women and how our brains are so different. And it is life-changing. Once we know why men do what they do.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
That'd solve all the problems. Figuring out their brains.
What's the difference between being a life coach and like a therapist? I always wonder what the difference is.
I would say, another great question, I would say the main difference is, you know, therapy and counselling goes back and you're dealing with the back emotions that you felt in the past.
Yeah.
Whereas life coaching is getting you from A to B, moving you forward, reaching your goals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would say that's the main difference.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, if you think of it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because therapy can be quite like deep sometimes.
Yeah, can bring up past
Whereas,
traumas and stuff.
yeah, so life coaching would be more like helping you to get
Yes.
to a goal rather than looking back.
Exactly, and it's strategic planning, measuring, seeing, okay, how far have you come to get, you know, near your goal? How you know, quickly are you reaching it? And as well, you know, a lot of the time people need the therapy first to move forward.
Yeah.
So they're you know, they work in harmony. They're a good combination.
Yeah, definitely.
And do you find it heavy, like your job? Like, do you find it sometimes overwhelming, or like how do you
People
find it?
do tell me their innermost secrets that they wouldn't tell other people.
How do you do that? I'd tell the whole world I cannot hold.
Yeah, I am like a serious what do you call that?
I'd say you're like a safe.
secret.
You're
A safe,
locked
that's
with loads of
exactly-
secrets.
That's exactly the word I was going to use. I'm a safe. I don't tell it to the stones. You know,
Yeah.
like my friend, you say it won't go to the stones. And I love it. I feel it's such an honour. And, you know, I'm a real kind of mama. So I love being the mama to people in a way. And, you know, just the trust they have in me. And, you know, we can work on the crisis together, and you should see the results and the change in people. They just become the best version of themselves. Sometimes all people need is just someone to talk to, support, say, do you think I'm doing the right thing? And to say, you know, you are amazing. Look at what you've been through. You've accomplished this, you can get that. You know, you are an amazing human being. Sometimes we forget that. We forget all the accomplishments we've had in our lives, and people just need a reminder. So yeah, I love it. I love my job, and I love seeing people become the best version of themselves.
Yeah, because sometimes, like a lot of the time, we don't like actively tell each other that them things, but it's not because we don't think it. It's just that it doesn't come up to be like, Ellie, you're so
Naturally,
amazing.
yeah.
Like, would you be sitting there and telling her how amazing she is, even though I know it? Like,
Thanks,
but it's-
bird.
you need
You
to. But like, it's nice that that's someone else that can kind of tell you that. And
It's so true.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people don't have what ye have, you know, the support, that person you can go to, especially guys. You know, women,
yeah.
you know, we have our community, we have the sisterhood. You know, women de-stress by venting, by talking. To people. You know, we say twice as many words a day as men.
Do we?
That's just a fact. You know, we're more emotional and 100%. And, you know, we have that community. A lot of guys don't. They might have a best friend, but they'll have a pint with, but they won't go in deep with. They'll just say, you know.
Why do you think that is? Like, I know that's like a stigma around like men don't talk to each other, or like even down to like men going to the doctor and stuff. You'd never really hear of, like, even when I was growing up, I would have heard that, like, if your dad's sick, you wouldn't really go to the doctor. Like, what is that? Just like men are meant to kind of fend for themselves
And be
kind of thing?
hard
and
and-
be tough,
Yeah.
too tough to kind of do stuff like that.
Yeah. Like even John Gray says, you know, men, they're fixers. So like if you have a problem, you know, and you say to your partner, oh, this happened. Oh, well, did you try this? And the woman say, you know, I'm not asking for the solution. I just want you to listen. You know, this is the part of us talking and they're the fixers. So I think, you know, really men want to fix their own problems. They'll only go to advice if everything else has failed. So they go into their own cave, you know, the man cave, like John Gray says. They'll go out on their own, and only then, if they're really in trouble, they feel they should fix it themselves. And normally they do, unless it's a big problem, then they go to advice. And again, the men don't have that sisterhood. It's, you know, women talk. Feminine energy is bonding, talking, getting emotional, nurturing. So again, of course, us women look after our guys. You know, did you go to the doctor? When last were you at the doctor? That's our feminine energy, nurturing, caring. Whereas masculine energy is drive, ambition, focus, breaking down barriers, breaking down obstacles. You know, so guys can't multitask. They're very one thing orientated. You know, they're not multitaskers. So they're built differently, yeah.
Do you ever send them a message and they only replied, if you send a few questions, they only replied to one of the questions? Like, what happened to the rest of the questions I just asked? Like, why? Is that because they can't multitask?
I would say, is this online you're talking about on dating apps? Men aren't good on dating apps. So please, everybody who's listening, and you two girls, be so compassionate to the guys.
Wow.
They don't know how to use the app. Now, 99% in my experience of people, male and female, don't know how to use the app strategically. But women have more emotional intelligence that way, to have the right pictures up, you know, start a conversation the right way. Guys don't have that because, again, we're talkers. We say twice as many words. So he's being succinct, just answering your one question, you know.
That's my boyfriend, by the way.
Oh,
That's not a date. But
we made a hinge, didn't we?
Oh,
for
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
We made a hinge for me the other weekend. Now, it was just for the crack. But even making it and looking through some, like, fellas' profiles and all, they're just so, like, to the point and things, and, like, I feel like you can't see someone's personality through them.
Yeah, I like meeting people in person.
Yeah.
You can't see the personality.
No.
Yeah.
Or if they have their picture up and their picture is with 7 other men.
Which
one are you?
Which one am I going on a date with?
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
100%.
Am I getting all 7 of you? That wouldn't be bad.
They also don't photograph well, men, as well as girls do.
I think they just don't care as much.
Maybe.
A lot of the time they don't have anybody to take the pictures for them.
Oh, is it?
I do that for them, yeah.
Did you ever meet a boy and you're like, oh, girls, I promise he's nice in person, and the pictures are just awful.
Pictures don't do him well.
You've no idea. I had this guy, girls, he was everything that a woman wanted. Tall, handsome, funny, very polite, studying law. He ticked all the boxes.
Tell him I'm single. Will you? Yeah,
Send him on.
And his profile was a disaster. He had like... you know, what do you call that when you have a second personality? You know, his...
Like an alter ego.
That's it. Yeah. That's the word I'm looking for, alter ego. And he was dressed up like in this fancy dress and just trying to be different, trying to stand out, trying to be funny. You know, guys like to be funny because funny men get women.
They do.
Yeah.
Women like to be emotional and laughing and all that with the guys. So all the guys are trying to be funny, and I said, oh my God, you know, this is not you. You are ticking all the boxes, and that doesn't look like this, you know, with that.
Yeah.
So we got him a great profile, and, you know, he was thrilled. But it's just really, you know, you are a brand online. You are selling yourself, and none of us are branding experts. We're not in marketing. So just be forgiving with the guys. Get offline if you take nothing from what I'm going to say about online today. Take this. Get offline as quickly as you can. The research says after 4 to 5 messages, now that can be a bit quick because you mightn't have built up the rapport and warmed somebody up, but you have to meet the person in person.
Yeah,
There's only, you know, two reasons to be online. Make the connection with a bigger ocean of, you know, people, and to get the real life date. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Get offline as quick as you can. And the pheromones, the natural chemical scent of a person.
Yeah.
You either like it or you don't, and you're not going to find that out.
Through a message.
Yeah. I see you can actually buy pheromones online and all, like ones that are like...
it just brings out your natural thing.
Yeah, and they like people get real attracted to it.
Or do you ever see, I've often seen like TikToks and stuff of people saying that if you were going on a first date, to lick your finger and rub it on the back of your ear.
Oh, I've never heard
Yes,
that.
that you're like your saliva. Would that not just stink after a while? Like, yeah.
Smelly.
I'll try and find one and I'll send it to you. I swear to God that, like, yeah, it's this thing that, like, if you put a bit of saliva on the back of your... I wouldn't be going doing it now, but on the back of your ear, that, like, that's your scent. Like,
And if they like it, they do. And if they don't,
My God,
And
I've
if they
never
don't,
heard
you need
that.
to brush
No,
your
my
teeth,
God.
wow.
Yeah.
What's the theory behind the pheromones? Like, is it from Stone Age?
Yeah, does it go back to animals?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
monkeys
it's
and-
basically like I use the example. It's not very polite, but the example about dogs. You know the way dogs sniff each other's bums.
Yeah.
They
We're doing that
do.
subconsciously. And another huge thing to know that people don't know, the research has shown attraction is created through interaction. So I'll say that again because it's a mouthful. Attraction is created through interaction. So they did research saying, what kind of guy do you want? What kind of girl do you want? And they ticked all the boxes and they said, oh, this is exactly the guy you're looking for. Put them all into a room. Everybody ticked the box and everybody ended up talking to different people.
Someone else.
Of course.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it was the tone of voice or the way the guy pulled out the chair for the woman to sit down or
Is it
the
their
eye
mannerisms?
contact.
Are you attracted to someone's mannerisms?
The mannerisms, the pheromones, the eye contact.
No way.
Confidence,
Yeah.
the vibe. You know, 58% of our communication is non-verbal. Non-verbal.
Just
Only
how someone carries themselves.
and we're reading the instinct. You know, our instinct is reading the person, and our subconscious is working. I mean, the new brain research now, the brain doctors, the scientists have discovered 95 to 97 or 98% of your resources lie in your subconscious. So we're doing things subconsciously without even knowing. And it's the chemical scent. You either like it or you don't. That's why some people say, you know, she was fabulous, you know, she's a great job. She looked beautiful. She was very polite, but I don't know what it is. She's not my type. I can't connect with her.
It's probably how they smell.
Yeah, probably that's it.
Oh, I love Tana's
No
smell.
way.
My boyfriend smells so nice.
Just a particular smell.
But like, even if he sweats, he plays football, so after a game, I love how he smells.
There you go.
And I'd say anyone else, he's not a smelly sweater, but like, I love it. Like,
That
I just
is
love
the
the smell.
pheromones.
Yeah.
That is the pheromones. They're
Yeah.
in a perfect example.
wow.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, the dirty jersey. Like, and in dating, what's the most common question? I'm sure there's a few, but the one you can think of that people come to you with.
I would say confidence issues.
Really?
Confidence
Yeah.
issues. It's a big thing. And like I say before, you know, a lot of people don't have this, you know, support that you have with each other and your own friends and family. A lot of people have had a rough upbringing and maybe their family wasn't that nice to them, you know, said lovingly. That's the truth. You know, they come to me and they say, you know, I wasn't treated well by my mother or father or whatever. And it affects them and they have low confidence. They don't have that self-esteem, that price on themselves, that self-worth that they feel, you know, that they're deserving of love or that who would be interested in me. That would be the main, I would say 60 to 70% block that I see. The other, then there's kind of three things. Lack of confidence. These are the three things I see mainly. Lack of confidence, which is a block, and blocks, you know, other blocks like that. That's the main one. Lack of emotional intelligence. Men don't know how to speak to a woman. They talk to women like they're guys, or vice versa. The women don't know how to build the attraction with men. They don't have that secret code to get into the opposite, you know, language and make the magic happen there. So lack of emotional intelligence. And number 3, lack of strategy. They don't know what they should be doing. They don't know how to use the apps. They don't have a system, a blueprint to follow that makes them find love. They would be the 3 main things: strategy, lack of confidence, or lack of emotional intelligence.
Wow.
So if they got those things right, we'd all be with someone.
Right.
That would be great.
There is a
married.
blueprint, and even my trademark is find the one with 3. Find the one person with 3 things. The only 3 things, if you watch everybody who's good with men or good with women, or, you know, even good just, you know, building attraction, they have 3 things. So that the confidence, the conversation. So if you have the confidence, you'll be able to make the conversation. They're leading on from each other as well. And you'll be able to make the connection, the 3 C's. If you look at anyone who's good at doing it, they have those things locked down. So find the one with 3. That's the blueprint. If you follow that, you know, it's a solid thing that you won't go wrong. You'll know what to do.
So confidence, conversation, connection.
Yeah. They're the three
I'm going to
things.
get that tattooed on me and pray that it comes true.
We go on to some Instagram questions.
Yeah, we got inundated
Yeah.
with questions. So we're going to
That
read
is
through
so
a few of
lovely
them.
to hear.
So the first one is, what do you do when you feel clingy?
You have you create so that you can have a multi-dimensional life. You don't just have one compartment where it's about your man, your man, your man. I've seen loads of girls that have even gone the opposite way. They've had a multi-dimensional life, had loads of interests, loads of things to do, lots of friends, and the minute the guy comes along, they drop everything and make him their world, become clingy, and the guy is allergic. It's the quickest way to
runs
kill
away.
attraction.
Oh, I've seen it so many times happen.
You've seen it,
As soon,
sister.
yeah, it's like you give your everything and they're just completely like, get off me. Like I feel like it's too much for a man. Whereas,
100% correct.
but
It's too
I
much
think
pressure.
if a man did that to me, I think I'd be like, yay! Like,
No.
is it a man thing that they don't like too full on?
Very good
And
point.
we wear our heart on our sleeves. We want to give, give, give. Like if you're a really loving person, you just want to give, give, give. But they just push off. It's too much for them.
You instinctively know. You're saying it in a different way to the way I'm going to say it. You're correct. You're right.
Am I?
The guys. Okay, so a guy is different. Okay, the brains. This is back to the gender intelligence. So the way a guy. It's biochemistry. He has to build up his testosterone. So the way a guy builds up his testosterone is he steps away into the man cave, like John Gray calls it, goes away with the boys or whatever and separates himself from you. And that builds attraction because he needs his own space to build up the testosterone even alone. And guys, when they're close to a woman, feel like they're losing themselves. So they say, oh my God, I'm losing myself here. I'm getting too wrapped up, my freedom, na. That is just a natural response.
No
Don't
way.
freak out. But the ladies do freak out and they say, oh my God, he's slipping away and, he doesn't love me anymore and all that. What they should do is let him go like the rubber band and he'll come back even stronger.
They're like boomerangs,
Like boomerangs.
aren't they?
Wow.
So you are right. Men are different to women that way.
Okay.
That they need that time to build up their testosterone when their cortisol gets too high, the stress chemicals. So yeah, if you're clingy, go and have a massage, go to a yoga class, meet your friend for a chat. It's in the modern world now as well. We look to everything from our guy. Because in the caveman days, like we're talking about the pheromones were always there.
Yeah.
We had our sister, our nana, our mother, everybody around the campfire. So we could chat away and go, oh, he's driving me mad today. Come over here and have a chat, Nana, whatever. We could vent. Now we don't have that because we're working women. We come home and we're saying, I need to vent. I need to de-stress because I'm a woman. And the guy's like, oh, please, I need space because I've been working hard all day. The way we deal with stress creates stress in our relationship when we don't understand it. So what you need to do is look for your stress relief somewhere else. Go to your friend and vent, go somewhere else. Don't look to everything for your guy. It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
It's too much pressure. The guy can't give everything to you. There was a joke about we should have two or three men in our life. One gay man friend that we can vent all day.
Yes.
One husband partner that, can meet our needs. And then another guy to, go shopping with or whatever. We're looking too much for everything
In the one
from the
man.
one person.
Yeah. I think when you put your happiness all in one person, then when that's over, your happiness is gone. You have left because it's like, well, that was my happiness the last however many months or years. Like,
Such an important point because I see my older friends now in their 70s and they're losing their wives.
Oh, no way.
And I have two examples. One of the poor things, I know it's so traumatic. But the person with the fuller life, I see a few people on either side. The few people that have their life and their business and their job and their work and their knitting class or their bridge class and they go out every Wednesday for their poker game, whatever, versus the people that have no interest, who haven't kept friendships alive and all that. It's way harder for them.
they deal better
So
when they have
it's a whole life, yeah, it's a whole life thing,
Wow.
What do you think is the best first date and why?
Okay. So people used to think it was dinner, the 3 or 4 hour dinner where you're trying not to eat pasta in front of somebody you don't know and be embarrassed. Yeah, and nobody wants the pressure of 2 to 3 hours. So the best date, and I've even interviewed my female audience, and this is what they said as well, is a coffee just a daytime date with a coffee. It's better financially for the guy as well. I had a guy in LA. He was crossing the city every second night on dates and buying dinner. He was nearly broke from it with the petrol alone. I often tell that story. So a coffee and a walk after if it's going well, or a walk and a coffee after. But I mean, if it's raining now, we're in Ireland, not LA. A coffee, a simple coffee. There's no pressure on anyone. Keep it short and sweet. Hour and a half max. And you know, you get to know the person, you get a feel for them, and you relax. There's no pressure on either side. And there's no love lost financially or emotionally. If you say, you know what, I didn't click with that person, there's no harm done. And everybody's better off.
I saw a TikTok recently, and it was this girl who, she was on a dating app, and she connected with this fella, and she was texting him and whatever, and he offered to bring her for a coffee. She declined and said, I'd much prefer to go for a dinner. Sent him a list of these restaurants. Right. A list of restaurants from the price. So like low to high. This is what I'm looking for. The man came back and was like, I appreciate that you've sent me all that. I just want to see if there's even a connection there so a coffee would suit me better. Like, how does that feel? She went back to him then and was like, you obviously can't provide for me financially for what I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for somebody to bring me out for these dinners, and she just shut it down. I was like, what?
Wow.
I was like, is that real?
Wow.
So I can see what you say about a coffee is just a nice meet in the middle. You'll know if you kind of bounce off someone straight away or not.
You can look forward to the next time then.
Imagine sending her a list of places.
Oh wow, I don't advise that.
No. Absolutely
Do not.
But that's obviously in her head. Does she think that she'll come across somebody who will be like, grand, I'll bring you to the most expensive place? And
it sounds like she is focused on how much per annum they're worth. I've had, you know, women. A woman came to me after COVID, and she said, I used to be obsessed about, like, the guy had to earn a certain amount per annum, or I just wasn't interested. She said, that's all changed now. I am acutely lonely. Oh my God, I'm nearly getting upset for the poor woman. She was so upset. She goes, I'm so miserable. I have everything. She goes, my own business. I can buy any shoe I want. I have 2 houses and I have nobody to share it with.
Yeah.
And she
Where's
goes,
the joy in that?
where's the joy in that? She goes, I'm over it. I'm over myself.
Wow.
You know, I've completely changed. Teach me, you know, how to find guys. So it's not about that. It's about the soul connection. So it sounds like she's concentrating on the money.
Wow. Coffee. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Coffee.
Yeah, because as well, you're not kind of getting nervous all day for it, because dinner's always usually nighttime.
And you don't have to dress up as much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what to wear.
Yeah.
And you know, girls, to be honest, you know you're busy women. I mean, people don't have the time in this modern world, even with people commuting. Time, I always say really 3 most important things you have, but up there with the 2, you know, with confidence, obviously your confidence, but your time and your energy. They are your 2 most important quantities. You don't get them back.
No, your time's so valuable. Like,
so valuable. So, you know, a coffee's great if you're caught for time. And as well, if you're meeting a lot of guys, I always say love is a numbers game. If you're meeting a lot of guys or girls, you know, you could be going on a few coffees or dinners. If you were doing dinners a week like that guy in LA, it's not practical.
Yeah.
You don't need the dinner. You know what I mean? You can meet people. If you're meeting a lot of them, coffee is better. It's more efficient. You know, if we want to be blunt.
Yeah, I'd be buzzing off the walls.
How many dates has she been on today?
Do you think, though, if you go for like a drink in the evening, do you think you'd find a lot of people get really drunk because of nerves?
That
I would.
That is true. And it's funny, it's more a guy thing. Guys have come to me and they're like, and I'm like, they're like, oh, and I was out, and they're telling me the story, and I start sussing things out, and I say, and how many drinks had you?
Really?
And were you drunk? Oh yeah, I was paralytic. I said, well, that has to stop.
Yeah,
so they're
of
like,
course.
you know what? I never even thought of that. It's a good point. And they stop and they meet their girl in a couple of months. Women don't like drunk guys. We don't want somebody messy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's better if you're not drinking yourself excessively, because you can't bring your A game. I don't know whether you know this guy. He is he a coach? I'm not sure now his name. Is it Sam? Sam Ovens, I think his name is. He's a very big entrepreneur in America, and he said, you know, I was drinking on a Saturday night, then I was gone on Sunday, there was no Sunday, then Monday I was still groggy, and Tuesday morning I was finally starting to come round. So he gave up drinking, and he went from 3 million a year to 18 million per year.
Wow.
Not just 4 million, like 1 million. 80 million. It really affects your A game, your productivity.
It does.
Just everything. You need your 5 senses and to be alert to say, is this guy going to enhance my life? Is this girl going to be nice to my mom?
Yeah.
Does this guy have the same values or girl? Do they want a family or do they want to be out drinking every night? Values, having the same values, not so much the same common ground, because you can be very different, but the same values, that's what keeps something together long term.
Yeah, I think a few wines as well, you fancy anyone.
Oh,
On
I
a date, like you just would fall in love. Like
I'd fancy the
beer
lamp
goggles. Yeah, beer goggles definitely
I
don't
really
help.
would.
Yeah,
And another very important fact is men lower their standards for a one night stand. So if they're drinking and you go home with them and you get up the next day.
Great. Fuck my life. Brilliant.
That is so funny. And you go home and you wake up the next day and you're like, but he was all about me last night. He'll love you loads when it's happening. Because they want to earn it. They want to earn it. And they won't like it.
I don't get it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
No way.
So they'll tell you things to get you in bed.
They know. I
they
get
will
her
tell
home
you
if I tell her
anything.
this. Like,
And you wake up the next morning and you're like, but they're not all about me now. They don't like me. They won't like you so much anymore.
Their
And
hormones are gone
It's
down.
because they lower their standards. And the other thing is dopamine is released when a guy is with a girl. So he's getting a hit of, oh, wow, this feels good. Oxytocin, the chemical, the bonding love drug chemical, it's so strong, people call it that, is released when a woman is with a guy.
Yes.
So it's the chemical that's released when you're breastfeeding your baby that bonds you to people. So, you're going to be bonded to him and he's not going to be bonded to you. Different when he's in a relationship with a woman. Oxytocin and other chemicals are released. But if he doesn't know you and there's no emotional attachment, it's a whole other ball
Good to
game.
know, isn't it?
great to know.
Great. So like they'll only feel it when they're actually in your presence.
When they know you and they're committed to you,
So a relationship,
and you've made them earn it. Men want to work for it. They don't want it on a plate. I had it from the horse's mouth from one of my clients. Very, very good looking guy. Looks like Tom Cruise.
Well,
No problem getting women, okay, in the 1%, the alpha male. And he has a problem finding the right woman for other issues. He's other issues, but he's no problem getting women into his net. And he said to me on one session, I was on a date last night and I asked her, did she want to come up? And I was praying that she'd say no.
oh wow.
I was asking, but I was hoping that she'd say no, that part of me in there deep inside.
Yeah.
And she said yes, of course. And he goes, I mean, what do we do now? We've gone from 0 to 90. How do we go now on a dinner date?
A dinner date.
They
yeah.
want the challenge, masculine
Why did
energy
he
is
ask?
challenge.
I'm like, just
Yeah.
don't.
So why do they? why
Because
do
they
give
want
it
the
up?
dopamine
They want the
hit.
chase.
They're,
Yeah, they
they're
want the
warm-blooded men. We've got to forgive them. That's what men are there for. They have the testosterone,
Yeah.
the different chemicals to, be like that. They want to be with women physically, but they want to earn it. They want to earn it. So you give them the benefits when they've earned it, when they're 110% all in, when they're all committed, and you raise the bar and you be the high standard woman. And that is what men find so attractive. Because the men aren't going to raise the bar.
Yeah,
That's
no.
not their,
No,
in
you
their
have to raise
makeup.
your own bar. My boyfriend broke up with me because he can't handle my emotions. Help.
Okay. So yeah, a woman's brain, in that part of the brain, it's 25% more active than a guy. So we are more emotional. What I would say is there's a way to talk to a guy. She's not talking to him the right way, I guarantee you.
Okay.
So men are succinct. They're simple. That's what I love about men. They're simple. They're black and white. You don't need to have a 10-sentence conversation, be all emotional. So there's a phrase you can use that will get a man to listen instantly.
Oh, what is it?
It just turns their brain on.
Quick,
So what you do is you don't get into the big re-raw. You say, I've spoken to you about this before, but I'm saying it differently now. Let me say this differently. That phrase gets him to sit up.
Wow.
And I've tested it and it works. Let me say this differently. And you go in, boom, 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 your 3 sentences. Listen, this is what's bothering me. You've got to sort it out. We need to sit down when you're ready to sit down to talk about it, and we need to come up with a solution. I trust you. Trust is a big thing to men. They want to feel trusted. I trust you to sort it out. If you don't, we can come and we can sort it out together. But you don't give a 10-hour big emotional men go into fight or flight mode. Then it's again the way we deal with stress.
Yeah.
They want to go to their man cave or fight.
Yeah.
It's just the way men deal with it. They just can't, they can't think about multiple things at once. They put them in boxes in their brains. They compartmentalise. Whereas a woman worries, has all her experiences, her emotions, her thinking all in one. A man can't think and feel at the same time. It's just the way their brain is made up. They can't use both parts of their brain at once. They can only use the left hemisphere or the right hemisphere. Women can. So
Very
we
simple
just
creatures,
aren't
aren't they?
Simple creatures, yeah.
Yeah, so I love them. We're the complex ones. I would hate to be a guy having to deal with us.
True.
You know, they are just simple beings, and if you talk to them simply, she's just not communicating the right way, and she's coming at him, I guarantee you, at the wrong time. Sit back in your feminine energy, wait. It's hard to do, but once you get into the practice, it becomes easier. Sit back and wait for him. Remember the boomerang?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for him to come to you, and then he will be open to talking, and it'll all be done and dusted in 2 minutes. But if you force him into that when he's in that fight or flight mode, it doesn't work.
He panics, does he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just like, I need to get out of here.
I get always a better reaction out of Dana, my boyfriend, if I don't say something rather than if I do. Like, say if I'm like, if I go mad about something, like I'm saying and I'm like, like moaning at him, basically, whereas if I'm like, oh, okay, or something, like, then he'll ask me, like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
They don't listen. They just their mind blocks off.
It's so true.
It's gone.
He loves you because he wants to make you happy. Men that love their women want to make them happy. So, he's trying, he's putting in the effort. So, amazing.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
He is. He's an angel. What else have we got here? How would you keep a long-term relationship exciting?
Oh, isn't that one now? That the secret that people
That
want
everyone
to know.
wants to know. Yeah.
Everybody wants to know, even married people. Have a date night.
Yeah.
Have a regular date night where you don't, if you're married or whatever you have, if you have a business together, you don't talk about the business, you don't talk about the kids, you don't talk about the mortgage. You use it to keep the emotional connection alive and healthy. That's what makes a relationship happy and lasting, is the emotional connection. So you have to keep that, strong and high. So keep the fun high, have a laugh. I would say men are very visual, so make the effort with your appearance. It's one that's not really spoken about for both men and women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be your best self for that person. Don't forget to be grateful. People start taking people for granted. That's what happens. It's human nature. It's humans. Whatever's familiar and whatever easy and there all the time, you get used to. So just, the guys can keep it alive by, even giving, there's a thing in John Gray's book, The Men Are From Mars, about 100 tips on how to look after a woman and 100 for the guys. So the women is like, women are big into hugs. Give 4 hugs a day. Tell her she looks nice. Give a compliment. It's the things you did at the start when you were dating. So ultimately keep dating your partner. And if the guy is out working hard, it's the expectations we have now of each other that, my guy, he's working 3 jobs and he's not romantic. He's probably too tired to be romantic. He's knackered. Exactly.
Yeah, can't even think.
Appreciate what he's doing. That's another tip for the women.
Okay.
Appreciate what the guy is doing if you want him to do more for you. So say, listen, I really appreciation is huge for guys.
Yeah.
I really appreciate what you're doing, breaking your back, bringing the money. I really do.
Like dogs, do they want to feel like they're always doing a good job? Like, do they need to be reminded that they're doing a good job?
That is true, because the way guys show love is different to women. 3 things. They profess, which means they put a label on it. You're my girlfriend, you're my fiance, you're my wife. They provide, monetary wise, they'll give money, or if they don't have money, they say, listen, I'll fix your car, or I have a mechanic that's a friend, I'll bring him up to fix your car. They're providing any way they can. They're supporting you, and they protect you. So the providing is a big thing, and I think a lot of marriages have ended and are ending in partnerships and couplehood and boyfriend and girlfriend because the women don't understand that. The guy goes, but I was working 3 jobs. Why isn't she happy? She's money to buy whatever she wants. And the woman's withering like a flower because she's not getting attention. Women need that attention. Yes. They need to be watered like a flower. You need to keep the love alive. But the guy misses that part, the emotional part, because he's like, but I'm working.
Yeah, he thinks he's providing one way.
Exactly.
Is enough kind of thing.
Just to understand just the way the guys show love and that they're doing their best can be a game changer.
Is that kind of like the love languages as well, of like knowing?
Yeah. It's so true. The love languages, you know, one is touch. You know, people love massages. Another is gifts. Even, you know, the coach that I was working with, he was joking, saying like he's a very affluent man, lots of money, flying around the world, and he'd go every place and bring back a present for his wife. And she was like, "Oh, thanks very much, but you know, no big deal, but thank you, no, that's lovely." He emptied the dishwasher for one morning. She nearly lost her life. "Thank you, you're the best husband, la la la." And he goes, "Oh my God, this is just life changing." He goes, "Forget the gifts, I know your love language. It's, you know, it's doing jobs for you, you know." Another is quality time. So if you find, you know, each other's, because sometimes you think, "Oh, you're the same as me," you know.
No,
you love massages, because I love massages. No, look into it. People are different.
They're so important. Because
it is.
I think I had like an ex before where we just had completely different ones, but didn't realise.
That's it.
And then that was the cause of all our fights, really, because we didn't understand each other and what each other needed. Like, so it's so important to know that of your partner.
It is. You're
Send
dead
them the
right.
link to the quiz, and then they can do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do that quick.
Yeah, Dano's is words of affirmation.
That's
Loves
right.
words,
The
and
words
he
of
loves
affirmation.
words.
That is it.
Mine's gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean a
No,
big
yeah.
gift. Like just a
Just
thought.
bar chocolate.
That's
So,
it.
yeah, it's just a thought of it. Like,
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
so funny because if a woman receives a rose every day for 7 days for a week, it is way more meaningful than receiving one bouquet of 7 roses or 14 roses. It's the little bit every day. It's seen as a token every day of appreciation.
I love that.
A different token, whereas the one bunch is seen as one token, you know.
So small little gestures mean more than something massive and extravagant.
To women,
Because that'll only be one thing.
That'll only
whereas
be one thing.
little small trickles.
You'll
here
get
and
7
there.
points for that instead of 1.
We're going to keep you on for Secrets in the Stalls, which is our dilemma segment. So people write into us, and it's kind of like the conversations you have in the bathroom, nightclub, or like anywhere, and we give them the real talk.
Brilliant.
So it's called Secrets in the Stalls. All these dilemmas have been sent into our email address. It's homeidrink@goloudnow.com. And this is the only way we take dilemmas for the segment, so not through DMs. So these are all love related, so I think you can definitely help us here. So the first one is, my ex of 6 years cheated on me many times and really badly. I'm in a new relationship now as of 4 months ago, but I feel like I'm bringing toxic traits into this new relationship. It feels like I cannot control it and I can't help but feel like it's inevitable that I'm going to be cheated on again. Any advice?
Okay, number 1, I would say don't let anybody take your trust. That's a decision you can make yourself. That's on that person.
that.
That's their, you know, problem, their baggage. That's the word I'm looking for, baggage. If he's cheated on you, that's on him. We have enough baggage of our own. You know, I make a joke saying, keep the monkeys off your back. Don't be taking on his monkeys. You know, that was him. Leave that with him. The new guy has done nothing yet, I'm presuming, you know, to break her trust or anything. You have to start as a new chapter and leave that with the guy you dated. You have to trust people until there's a sign not to. You have a woman's intuition that will tell you anyway if something is wrong, so there's no need to worry. You're going to know. You're going to know. You know with the other guy. So trust yourself, as well as, you know, trusting your universal power, whatever you want to call it, you know, that you're in the right place and that you're doing the right thing to trust that person. And the affirmations are brilliant. You just said about, you know, the quiz has the one of them is the affirmations, the love languages. So I would, you know, be very focused on affirmations every morning and night. They change your neural pathways in your brain and they calm the circuit. So I would say do the affirmations and trust, because if she's worrying about that as well, that interferes with your intuition.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's wound up thinking, oh, there might be, and that throws you off anchor.
If something actually does
If
happen.
something does. So I would say trust this guy, leave that baggage with the old guy. Most people, honest to God, and I'm in the industry a while now and I've dealt with lots and lots of people. Most people, I would say 99% of people are genuine good people. They're not cheaters. They're not out to hurt people. You know, that is my experience. So more than likely, he's not going to. That would be my opinion. But she will know. Her intuition will tell her.
And do you think as well, people saying that they can't trust, do you reckon that's actually a lack of, like, a fear of being hurt again? rather than them scared to trust. They're just afraid of the thing happening again.
100%. And a lot of them feel, again, the confidence thing. Oh, well, I mustn't be worthy because that guy had no interest. He didn't have enough interest in me to be faithful. That's not true. That's all on that person.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with you. It's none of your business. That's
a reflection
their
on
issues.
him, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's their issues. Leave their issues to them.
100%.
The next one we have then is, hi girls, I recently started getting with or seeing my housemate. We've been friends for 4 years through college. We didn't live together through any of this. When we first met, we got together a couple of times and we went on a date, but I shut it down. Fast forward, we've both had long-term relationships that ended ages before we moved in together as friends. Have you any advice for dating someone you live with? Not changing the dynamic with other housemates as we're all best friends. Getting ready for dates with them in the house, lol, etc. Love the pod, thanks. So she lives with them.
Oh, that is tricky, isn't it? I would say...
Move out.
Yeah, I would. I would advise.
Would you?
I would say if you can move out, do.
Really?
I would. I would say the.
Do you think it would change the dynamic in the house if you were like living in it? I'm trying to think of. I've never.
I think if you were fighting and stuff, then the dynamic.
then everyone's
changes.
involved.
Yeah, that's a good point about the fighting as well. I would say again that 58% of our communication is non-verbal. People are going to feel that energy in the house. It's all energy. They're going to feel the energy. It is going to change it, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be very bad or anything. But I just think it's hard to have, any boundaries at all if you're living together already. You know what I mean? There's not that conversation of what's going to happen. Are we getting married? Are we just going to live together? As couples when they're not living together.
Yeah.
Or, where is this going if the girl wants to get married and the guy doesn't? It's all very blurred when you're immediately thrust into that.
Do you think it should be like stepping stones?
Definitely.
So if they're already
slowly and
together.
steady and calmly.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of pressure as well. That word again,
is
pressure.
pressure.
It's like the dinner thing. It's pressure. It's like, if you have a fight, like you just said, where do you go, or is it over? Or, like, you can go back to your own house if you fight and cool down and go, oh my God, I missed that person, and come back. There's an awful lot of pressure when you're playing house, as it were.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. I lived with my boyfriend before. We actually ended up breaking up. We don't live together anymore. But like, it was just like everything was more heightened because when we did get in a fight, like you can't get away from them really.
Just sit in the same room.
Yeah, and like it turns things into things they don't need to be. Like a little mountain turns into a mole. Like is that what the word?
Yeah, a molehill turns into a mountain. Yeah, you're dead
I was thinking
right.
which one's bigger. Yeah, like it just turns things into like
It's pressure.
huge. Yeah, pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, you're dead right. And like you just said about the fighting, great point. You've nowhere to go, you've no cooling off. And the boundaries get very blurred, the lines. It's all like a melting
Like where do you
pot.
go from there if you're already living together at the very beginning?
Like the guy who said, my client that said that to me, 0 to 90, where'd you go then?
Yeah.
You go back down to 30?
There's
Very
no
hard.
stepping and no.
You can't reverse the step once you've done it.
Once you've gone there, yeah.
The last one is then, my boyfriend and I had a bit of a falling out yesterday. We've been together the past 7 years and get on great and don't fight much as we are good at communicating and can sort things out without anything getting nasty. We were speaking about how all of his friends cheat on their girlfriends and how it's been triggering me lately, and I find myself questioning him. He's never cheated on me, but with him being so close to his friends, I can't help but think this sometimes in certain situations. We sat down to communicate through some feelings and he has asked to take a break from us. That is fine. I understand that he needs space, but also in this conversation, he said that right now he doesn't want to live with me. We've been talking about this for a while and we also share a dog. I don't know what to do, even if we get back together after this break. Am I just setting myself up for failure? We really love each other and are best friends.
And they're not living together now, are they? Did you say no?
I thought I'm good.
Should we share a dog? That might be just
a house share.
Yeah.
No, I think they live together now, yeah. They're together 7 years, they live together and have a dog.
Oh, they live together.
But he's
now.
saying
They do
now,
live together.
yeah,
Okay.
he's saying now that he doesn't want to live together.
So first of all, there's no break.
Is that not a thing?
There's
you
that's
believe
just
in that?
No,
rubbish.
they're
That's what a
tragic.
guy says when he's like, I want out, but if I decide to go back, I'd like
I
to wait
can't,
in the
yeah.
wings.
We
That's
literally
cool.
said that.
Door
a
is-
few
Said
weeks
lovely.
ago.
Yeah, the door
yeah.
is still slightly open.
Said
Yeah.
lovingly. The guys know it out there that are listening. They know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And women do it too. We're not all on the guys, right? Women do the exact same thing that men do. by keeping people hanging on the line and being time wasters. So there's no break, like the joke with Rachel and
Ross and Rachel, we're on a break.
I always think of that when somebody says break. It's the same thing, there is no break. You're either in or you're out. And guys are all in or they're all out. In fact, really with most things in life, you're either all in or you're all out.
Yeah.
So you don't have one leg on the shore and one leg on the ship. Men definitely don't. So the fact he is broken up, what you should do is he is saying, I don't want you now, said lovingly, right? It's all good because there's a plan. The higher power. I'm
going on as if this is me. I'm like,
gasping.
and
People
all.
are like,
No.
oh my God. But it's all fine because it's so funny. You always move on to better things and things that are more suitable for you and all that. The people I see. So you let him leave if he wants to leave, and you shut the door and you say, all the best. I wish you all the best. Blessing with a kiss, and you move on and you live in the now.
Do you think?
If it's meant to be, he will come back. If it's not, it's not meant to be. I know 2 people, one of them split up for 7 years. They're married now with 4 kids. Another girl split up for 3 years. They're married now with 2 children. If it's meant to be, it will be. But if somebody's saying, I don't want you, if somebody isn't appreciating, listen, like Oprah said, what did she say? You teach people how to treat you. Listen to what they're saying and react with the treatment accordingly. You teach people, if you're going to run after the person and say, please, I beg you, that's not what people do that have confidence in themselves and say, okay, if you don't want me, well, you're not all in. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. People are entitled to live their life and say, I don't want this anymore. But you can't just wait in the wings for someone to see what's going to happen. You got to live. You got to live.
No, I agree.
Wow.
So you can send your dilemmas in to homeidrink@goloudnow.com, and we answer even more in our bonus episode that is out on Mondays.
So thank you so much to Frances for joining us today, because we've got so much interaction and your advice was so helpful. Like, I'm blown away. Are you? It's great. This is unbelievable.
Amazing.
We're going to be here next week for a part 2 of this episode.
Thank you so much, girls.
We didn't even get through even.
No, we didn't scratch the surface.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But for now, where can we get in touch with you online? So where can people find you?
So I'm on all social media, or you can go onto my website, www.franceskellehercoaching, all E's, Frances with an E, Kelleher, all E's, coaching.com. And we have free resources there to help people. We give free advice, or reach out to me through email or DM. We'd be happy to help anyone who needs it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Sip or skip. We take one topic based on week's episode, and if we sip, it means we agree. If we skip, it means we disagree. If you're listening, you can sip or skip along with your drink. Dating apps. Sip or skip.
Skip.
Yeah, I'm going to skip just because I haven't had a good experience. But then you hear love stories.
You do. I just think, I don't know. I'm skipping.
Based on what Frances said also.
Yeah, God, based on what Fran's getting, absolutely never getting one of them again in my life. But I'm skipping on dating apps, but I'm not skipping on like meeting someone just generally on social media.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not necessarily just a app or a dating app.
Yeah. I'm going to say skip.
Skip.
But skipping personally, because I know it works for people find their whole love of life.
It's mad, isn't it?
I know.
That's not the wedding.
Especially on Hinge, I feel like a lot of people do.
Yeah. Where did you meet?
But yeah, I'm personally going to say skip.
Skip.
And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. You can go back and listen to our bonus episode for Monday, How Much Drink Extra Juice. Make sure to listen back to that now before a new bonus episode next Monday. And don't forget to like, rate and subscribe to the podcast. And we'll see you on Monday.
Was that us? Yeah.
See you then.
See you then.
Love you.
Bye.
Subscribe to this podcast for free on the GoLoud app.